Thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it. I'm so excited to have Alyssa here with us tonight. Alyssa was a former sales student. She was with us for 1 year, I think, Alyssa, is that right? And 2 years? 2 years, and then went on to Judson, and she's learning all about film. Believe it or not, she thinks she needs more help, which I'm not sure we agree. She did an awesome job. So I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you.
There is, my daughter Carissa is running around with another microphone over there, so if you have a question, raise your hand and flag her down, and she'll run it to you.
Slowly.
Thank you, Anne. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
So,
That's awesome.
so does anybody have any general questions?
Actually, I had a question.
Yes.
When you were in like grade school or middle school, I mean, do you remember approximately at what age or what grade you started to feel more different than your neurotypical, other children at your grade level?
Well, interestingly enough, ever since, for most of my young life, like up until I was about 15, I was pretty much in my own little world. So, I mean, when I was diagnosed at the age of 12, but even after I was diagnosed, I was like, oh, okay, I have Asperger's. Like, I didn't even really think about it that much. So, really when it sunk in was when I got older, like in my teens, and I noticed, okay, I am a little awkward, I am a little different. It's not just, that I'm special, but I realized at that age that I was different. So were you asking, like, what specifically happened, or was just what age?
Just more age.
Yeah, so about 15 then.
So my son can make friends, but never can keep friends. So he goes through them, and he's very social, loves people, wants to be with people all the time, and all that. So, and I do have to just tell parents one thing, is what happened with my son is because he's very bright. The school always said he doesn't need any help, he doesn't need anything, he's too smart, so just beware. I had to fight for him.
As a girl, were you a perfectionist?
Yes.
You got good grades in school. In school, you acted perfectly and you did well.
I guess I'm perfectionist about certain things. Like in school, I mean, perfectionism, first of all, doesn't always equate to good grades. Because you can be super perfectionist about a project or an assignment, and then you kind of overdo it, and then you turn it in late or do other things to lessen the grade. That's my problem, where I go overboard with projects.
Do you recall when you were like 7 years old how you did in school?
So
that would be first grade.
I don't remember too much from then. I was homeschooled at the time. I do remember, again, I was in my own little world. So like school to me, well, I did still do my school, but I wasn't really, it wasn't on my priority list. So the things I was perfectionist about didn't really have to do with school. It was more so things I would draw, because I like to draw a lot, or when I was playing with toys, I'd line up toys and arrange things a certain way. But with school, I didn't really care too much about my grades.
You were homeschooled at that age.
Huh?
You were homeschooled at that age.
Yes.
Okay.
I was homeschooled between 1st and 6th grade, and then 7th and 8th grade I went to public school, and then beyond that I was homeschooled up until I went to the transition program and then to college. So just to give you an idea. So I probably had a slightly different schooling experience than the average person.
Thank you.
I had a quick question. So I have a hard time making friends. So how would you make friends? Like, your input.
That's a good question. I might be slow to answer on some of these, by the way, because I always have like a bajillion answers going through my head here. I mean, it really depends, because I don't really know you very well, and everybody kind of does things differently. I would just say, you know, just be yourself. If you try to pretend to be somebody else, which I know a lot of people on the spectrum kind of have to do, unfortunately, but like if you be yourself, the right people who like you for who you are will come along. But that being said, at the same time, there are certain things that you obviously need to do to make friends that, you know, like the socially appropriate things. I guess I would say, especially because with Asperger's, interests are such a huge thing that I always recommend like getting involved in groups of people who share your interests. So whether that's like a club or something at school, or like I'm kind of an introvert, so I socialize on the internet a lot. So I would go on Facebook, and if there's something I'm interested in, I would look that up on Facebook, and usually there's a group for that interest. So, so I would suggest real life groups, online groups. Just find people who are basically into the same things that you like, because that will definitely help a lot. Other than that, just I would just say, you know, be open to other people, like listen to other people, because I know people like being listened to. But yeah, that's usually what I go by when I try to make friends.
Thank you.
Alyssa, this was a beautiful film. You're an artist, and there were so many scenes that were just absolutely gorgeous.
Thank
Besides
you.
the content, this was very special for Layla and myself. So thank you very much.
And thank you for coming. Yeah, thank all of you guys for coming. You're awesome.
I just wanted to also compliment you on your film. It's amazing. It's professional.
Thank you.
My daughter and I were commenting on the transitions the timing was excellent. The music that you chose, I mean, just everything was just really, really well done. And it provides education in such a beautiful way. So we wanted to compliment you on that. And my curiosity was your impression of your social training, like if you attended Dr. Wahlberg's social classes at all, and what that meant to you.
I actually am not in any of the groups or the therapies at the Prairie Clinic. I mean, I know a couple people who are, like the girl Demi in the film is in some of those groups, but I never was. But I actually can't even really remember like what kind of therapies or anything I went through. You'd probably have to ask my mom about that.
This documentary is very well done and very put together, and you
Thank
did
you.
a very nice job on it. I was completely ignorant to the entire situation. I didn't exactly understand it until like now, and you did a really good job. Also, so hypersensitivity, does it come out of the blue, or is it just like all the time?
It really depends. I mean,
Is it like a feeling thing? So if like you're like feeling anxious, you're more vulnerable to hypersensitivity?
yeah, I can tell you even right now I am. Like, being in new places actually heightens it. I mean, what helped is coming here before this showing. I wanted to get familiar with the surroundings, which definitely helped. But like, you know, I've never stood on the stage before. The lights are a little bit in my eyes. I'm just ignoring it. I feel cold and hot at the same time. You know, it's just normal for me. So I'd say it kind of is like it's not like it happens 24/7. It's usually when I'm out in public. But when I'm at home, when it's just like my normal day, I'm going through my routine, that's when I'm feeling the most comfortable and not quite as hypersensitive to everything.
I know you're a filmmaker. Would you ever consider counseling kids coming up the same way as you have, having this first-hand account experience?
It's actually not the first time I've been asked that question. In terms of like a professional setting, like if I ever considered like becoming a professional counselor or therapist, I don't honestly think I could do it. I mean, I really greatly, like deeply care for people who are like me, who have the same issues, but you know, I have so many problems I can't be as good of a counselor as maybe some other people would. It's also just not my natural thing. So, but what I do enjoy doing, because I am very active on social media, I have a lot of people friending me on Facebook who saw my film, and a lot of people with Asperger's talking to me, and I guess in a way I'm kind of trying to be a good friend as well as a good advice giver. I don't want to say counselor because it makes me sound more like I'm their, you know, psychotherapist, but I'm not. But I do enjoy giving advice, and I do enjoy you know, befriending people like me. I just don't think I could do it professionally. Quite a journey.
Yeah. First of all, it was excellent film, and you obviously have a lot to teach and give as a filmmaker because you can reach so many people with this, and you have. So my question is, as a filmmaker, and as you being part of the subject of the film, what special challenges would you say that presented in terms of your decision making?
Sorry, could you rephrase that a little bit?
So your decisions as a filmmaker and being the subject of the film, one of the subjects of the film, what kind of challenges did you face?
Because I was in the film, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I will tell you, how do I put it? I do really like to express myself, and I really, you know, like kind of showing off a little bit. So I had to kind of tone that down when I was making the documentary because I want to make sure everybody gets equal screen time. So I will admit I feel a little bad at the imagination part. Like, you know, mine was so like woo, and I kind of feel like I was showing off a little too much there. But but yeah, like I guess. I mean, I had so much to choose from and so much that like I wanted to say, but I had to kind of, you know, convince myself to not include everything that I wanted to say just because I wanted to say it, and just include whatever was important and whatever everybody else wanted to say that really contributed to it, or contributed. Everybody had equal play in it. But yeah, I had to basically fight my brain a little bit to to make sure it was one cohesive whole, if that makes sense.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Were there any new discoveries about Asperger's syndrome or you as an Aspie in the development of this film?
Actually, yes. One major change in the Asperger's and autism thing is that the diagnosis of Asperger syndrome was removed from the DSM-5, so it's no longer technically a diagnosis. So my diagnosis is still the same because that's what I was first diagnosed with, but if I was diagnosed again, it would just be autism spectrum disorder. So the fact that, you know, even in my title it's Aspergers and stuff, like soon that's going to be outdated because people are starting to say autism more than Asperger's because it's no longer diagnosis. Other than that, I don't think there were a whole lot of changes. Oh, actually, there is one. I guess the language in the autism community is kind of changing. Like the terminology that we use, I guess you could say, and like how we portray things and how we say things. And now people are saying we shouldn't even say it's a disorder anymore. We shouldn't say it's a disability anymore. And there's this whole movement among the autism community. It's the neurodiversity movement, basically saying everybody is different, everybody's brains are different, and that's totally okay. There is no normal. You shouldn't force someone to be normal. So I think those are really the two biggest changes over time, or in the production. Got another one over here.
I just want to know how long it took you to make the film. I'm back here, honey. Alyssa?
Huh? Sorry,
We're
I
back
don't
here.
know where I'm looking.
We're back. Oh, sorry. Hello.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Sorry, what was the question?
How long did it take you to put the film together?
Oh, gosh. I thought it would only take me like a year to do. I don't remember which year I started. I started doing it when I was in college, and then things got busy. I kind of dropped it, and I think overall it took maybe a year and a half. But near the end of it, I did the bulk of my filming. Sorry, can you hear me? I did the bulk of my filming in the summer of 2014, and kind of did all of the editing through the winter and the spring. So that's like when the majority of it happened, and then I released it in spring 2015. So about a year.
Thank you.
Not a bad thing.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh, sorry, I'm a little loud. I loved your film so much, your documentary. It's so great. Effects that I couldn't possibly imagine myself creating or even developing. But also the fact that when I see like all you and all your new Aspie friends and stuff, it's actually really it makes me quite touched because of the fact that each of you has little bits and pieces of yourselves that that make me feel like I can relate to you, and it's really great. And I just really am glad I came here because like this was actually worth my time very much. I can tell you right now that I'm introverted, and also I basically had like no real contact or knowledge of people with Asperger syndrome other than myself for like a very long time. And also that just I also went to a transition I'm going to a transition program currently, and it's pretty fun because there's a lot of people that are vastly different, but they're really great people. I just really enjoy like living my life day by day. So yeah, and also I like routines and other stuff. So, and anime and whatever.
I like anime too. It's awesome.
And I create a lot of things. Like I have a lot of creativity too. I'm pretty sure like most of the people that know me could vouch for that. So yeah, and just I really enjoyed this. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Hi there. I agree with my son too. Beautiful film. I guess my question is, what are your career aspirations with that, and also how is it accepted at your current college, like with your colleagues? I guess other college students, have they been accepting of the film, and how is that, or whatever the term would be, the non-autistic students?
Sorry, I was trying to find you in the crowd, so
right here. Sorry.
Oh,
You
I'm
see me
sorry. Could
waiting.
you repeat that? I was just like looking, like who's talking?
Oh, no. I was saying that your film was beautiful,
Thank you.
and how has the students from your college have they accepted your film? How have they reacted to your film? And what are your career aspirations?
So those two questions was one, career
Yeah, sorry
aspirations
about
and
that.
how they reacted. Well, I guess I have some friends at school, but I'm also kind of introverted, so I keep my distance from most people. But I guess other people who did see my film, they really reacted to it well. The most common thing they've said to me is that it's helped them really understand me a little bit better, like why I might not always be able to hang out, or why I'm a little particular about certain things. So you also asked about career aspirations?
That is correct.
Well, I want to be a filmmaker. That's why I'm studying film. And I'm obviously on my way there, sort of. I don't like to just passively wait for jobs to come along and to, hope that some other filmmaker is going to hire me. I wanted to do something myself, and I think that's really what I want to do. Is I want to make my own films. I want to make my own content. I have a YouTube channel now where I make videos about Asperger's syndrome. I also have a gaming channel that I do on the side, play video games and act crazy, but that's just kind of a for fun hobby. But that's the kind of stuff that I like doing, where I create my own films, and that's what I want to continue to do if that hopefully works out.
I really enjoyed your film. I have autism myself. I just wanted to know if you ever met Temple Grandin.
I haven't officially met her, but I've seen her speak. She was actually can't remember exactly where. She was speaking somewhere in Aurora, and I went to see her speak. So I guess I technically kind of met her, but I am a big fan of Temple Grandin. I've seen the film about her.
The Claire Danes one?
The what?
The one with Claire Danes?
Yeah, with Claire Danes. That was a really good movie. And I also saw a couple documentaries with her, but I am a huge fan.
Me too.
Awesome.
Oh.
But yeah, I recommend that movie for anybody who wants to.
We do need
see
to
the
wrap
film,
it up
so.
pretty quick, so we'll just take maybe one or two more questions.
Okay, I'll try and be quick. Well, obviously, the film was wonderful, and I thank you for all your work. My question is a little more specific to a part during the film where you talked about staying organized and how it helped you get through the day. Have you always been a very organized person, or was that something you had to learn along the way through training or therapy?
It's an interesting question, because I think I've been organized about different things throughout my life. I think when I was the least organized was when I was a kid, because my room was messy and I didn't really care where I put things, and I don't remember too much from then. But as I've gotten older, I have pretty much always been organized. I'd always sort out all of my drawings that I had, and all the things in my room. I think I'm the most organized now that I've ever been. Everything in my room has its own place, and if anything's out of place, I go bananas. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe one more question.
Hi, Alyssa.
Hi, Derek. I can recognize your voice.
How do you organize? I know the other person mentioned about organizing, but how do you organize, which is my struggle kind of right now, organize, going on social media and then going into, doing your studies from college?
So you're asking how I organize that?
Studying college and balancing it with going on social media, not going on social media too much, and then forgetting about college.
Yeah, balancing that with college. It's always tough. Facebook is a little bit addicting. We'll admit that. I guess in college, because I've always had to focus on my schoolwork first, I would only go on social media maybe once a day for like 10, 15 minutes. So it hasn't been a problem for me, mostly because I was so stressed out about my school and trying to focus on my school that I didn't have an issue. It's more of an issue now where I'm actually taking a semester off. I don't really have much going on, so I'm on Facebook maybe 2 or 3 hours a day. So, so it depends on how much I have going on, I think. Ooh, there's a fly in my face. Yeah.
All right, thanks.
No problem.
Thank you, Alyssa. That was amazing and very brave of you to come up in front of all of us, I must say. Yes, bravo, bravo. Very well done. This lady's come a long way. That wraps up our program. Thank you so much for coming and supporting Alyssa and her endeavors. And I think they might be open for a couple minutes, but I think we need to clear out of here. So thanks again, and keep in touch.